All right, welcome back, everyone. For our third deep dive, we're going to be looking at something pretty wild.
Yeah,
The idea that the web as we know it is actually disappearing.
it's a bold statement.
It is. We'll be checking out The Web is Disappearing, a paper by Jamie Burke, founder of Outlier Ventures.
Should be a good one.
So the title itself, I got to say, had me scratching my head a bit. The Web Disappearing.
Right.
Does that mean like no more memes, no more cat videos?
Well, hold on. Not quite. The paper's more nuanced than that.
Okay, good, because I'm not sure I'm ready to give up my daily dose of internet cats just yet.
No worries there. The core argument is that, Web3, despite all its potential, it struggled to really break through to the mainstream.
Definitely complex.
Too complex, exactly. For everyday users, it's just not intuitive enough yet. So the authors make the case that the missing case, the key to unlocking Web3's true power, is AI.
Okay, so Web3 isn't a failure, it's just waiting for its AI sidekick.
Exactly. Think about the early days of the internet. Before graphical interfaces and search engines, it was pretty clunky, right?
Not user-friendly at all.
Exactly. Web3 is kind of in that phase now. The decentralized infrastructure is there, the ownership, the new protocols, all that's revolutionary, but
Wow.
it needs that layer of AI to really make it user-friendly and accessible for everyone.
Makes sense. I do remember trying to navigate the early internet. Not a fun experience. But speaking of user experience, there's another concept from the paper that really stood out to me. The shift from an attention economy to an intention economy.
Yeah, that's a fascinating
I
one.
mean, think about how much time we all spend online, just clicking through ads, endlessly scrolling, bombarded by notifications. It's exhausting
Yeah.
and not always productive.
Absolutely. The current web is designed to capture our attention, whether it's good for us or not. The authors call the new paradigm the post-web.
Okay.
And it's all about using AI to help us fulfill our intentions, not just grab our attention.
So instead of getting lost in a sea of distractions, we'll have these AI agents acting on our behalf in the digital world.
Precisely. Imagine you could just tell your AI, find me the best deal on a flight to Bali.
And it actually negotiates the best price for you, sorts through all the options, and handles the whole booking process.
Exactly. No more spending hours comparing prices and sifting through endless travel websites.
Sign me up.
Or how about this? Hey, AI, filter out all the noise and just show me news that's relevant to my DeFi investments.
Ooh, that's a good one. No more information overload, just the insights you need. But wait, if AI is taking care of all this, what are we going to do online?
Good question. And this is where the idea of the thin web comes in. It's the space for everything AI can't replicate.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Things like creative expression,
Gotcha.
deep human connection, those moments of joy and surprise that really make us human. The thin web is where those things flourish.
So AI handles the, let's call it the transactional side of things, and we humans get to focus on what truly matters.
Exactly. It's not about segregating AI and humans. It's about recognizing their respective strengths.
Okay, so it's not just some theoretical utopia. This paper also lays out 4 defining characteristics of the post-web. And I'll be honest, I'm still wrapping my head around how it all fits together.
Let's unpack it. They call it intent-based, deterministic yet adaptive, verifiable, and hyper-contextual. Each has some pretty big implications, especially for DeFi.
Okay, I'm all ears. Let's start with intent-based.
So we already touched on this a bit, right? Instead of endlessly clicking through menus and options in the post-web, we just tell our AI what we want.
And it figures out the how.
Exactly. Think of it like you're interacting with a DeFi platform, but instead of clicking through all these complicated interfaces, you could just say, hey, AI, I want to earn the highest yield on my stablecoins.
And boom, the AI finds the best protocol, handles all the transactions, maximizes your returns.
Exactly. Seamless and efficient.
Okay, that's pretty slick. But what about deterministic yet adaptive? That one sounds kind of paradoxical.
So DeFi already has this deterministic element.
Right. Thanks to smart contracts, you get guaranteed outcomes based on the code.
Exactly. But the post-web adds this layer of AI adaptability on top of that. Imagine AI agents adjusting gas fees in real time based on network congestion, or optimizing your trades based on live market data.
So deterministic code, but with a dash of AI flexibility.
Precisely. That's the power of deterministic yet adaptive systems.
That's pretty powerful stuff. But let's not forget about trust and security, especially DeFi. It feels like those are kind of important, right?
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. And that's where verifiable comes in. In the post-web, Every single action taken by these AI agents, every decision, everything, it's all traceable and auditable on the blockchain.
So no more shady intermediaries or worrying about whether your funds are actually safe. That's reassuring for sure. But what about this hyper-contextual thing? Does that mean, like, no more one-size-fits-all experience in DeFi?
You got it. Hypercontextual means the post web personalizes your experience, taking into account your risk tolerance, your investment goals, your level of DeFi knowledge, basically everything that makes you, well, you.
So it's like having a DeFi dashboard that acts like your own personal financial advisor, adapting to your specific needs and evolving with you as you learn more.
Precisely. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Imagine AI tools that assess the risk of a smart contract before you interact with it, or even provide personalized educational content to help you make informed decisions.
Okay, hold on. My brain's trying to keep up here. So we've got AI optimizing our trades, making DeFi user-friendly, A&D personalizing our entire experience. It sounds almost too good to be true.
It is exciting stuff, but we're just scratching the surface here. Remember, the paper talks about this thin web where human connection and creativity thrive.
Right, but I'm still kind of stuck on that. Won't humans always crave connection and community in all digital spaces, not just some designated thin web?
That's a great point. The thin web isn't about keeping humans and AI separate. It's more about recognizing their strengths.
Okay, more like a shift in focus than a total separation. But let's get practical for a minute. This paper isn't just theoretical, it actually gives some concrete advice for builders in DeFi. How should projects adapt to this changing landscape? Like, what do we need to be doing now to get ready for this post-web world?
The author suggests a two-pronged approach. In the short term, focus on what they call AI augmentation.
AI augmentation, meaning using AI to enhance existing products and user experiences.
Exactly. Think about making DeFi interfaces more intuitive, providing personalized investment insights, or creating smarter security systems.
Got it. So like using AI to make DeFi less intimidating and more accessible to the average person.
Exactly. And in the medium to long term, that's where agent-first thinking comes in.
Agent first, meaning what exactly? Do I need to go out and hire a team of AI agents for my project?
Not quite. But it does mean shifting your mindset. When designing new DeFi products, you need to start thinking, how will an AI agent interact with this? Instead of just focusing on human users.
Okay, so it's like designing for both human and AI users, anticipating how they'll interact with the system. That's a pretty significant shift in thinking.
It is. It'll require some serious creativity and out-of-the-box thinking from DeFi founders. But the projects that nail this agent-first approach will be the ones that thrive in the post-web.
This is all incredibly exciting, but I gotta ask, what about the risks? This paper paints a pretty optimistic picture of AI, but what happens if these AI agents get too powerful? Or start acting in their own self-interest instead of ours? How do we ensure this post-web benefits humanity, not just the algorithms?
That's the million-dollar question, and it's something the entire DeFi community needs to be thinking about. Decentralization, transparency, and community governance, those are going to be more important than ever in ensuring that AI serves us, not the other way around.
So it's not just about building cool tech, it's about building it responsibly and ethically.
Okay, one last question that's been bugging me. If the web, as we know it, is shrinking, what new forms of digital interaction might emerge? Especially in DeFi. Like, are we going to see entirely new ways of connecting and collaborating online?
Ooh, that's a fascinating question. Think about AI agents representing entire DeFi communities, making decisions based on collective goals and values. Or imagine decentralized, AI-powered prediction markets where users can bet on the outcome of real-world events, all governed by transparent algorithms.
Whoa, hold on. My mind's officially blown. It's like the lines between the physical and digital worlds are starting to blur, and AI is the bridge. We're not just interacting with technology anymore, we're collaborating with it, co-creating the future. It's pretty wild to think about. You know, we've talked about DAOs before, those decentralized autonomous organizations. They're already making a big impact in DeFi, but imagine them supercharged with AI.
Right. It's like, what are the limits? Could we see these AI-powered DAOs managing entire protocols, making decisions based on data and community sentiment?
It's definitely not out of the question. And not just managing protocols. Think about driving innovation, like AI-powered DAOs, spotting market inefficiencies, and deploying capital to develop new solutions.
Wow, that's taking things to a whole new level. But this brings up a bigger question for me. If the traditional web is shrinking, like the paper suggests, what does that even mean for the future of DeFi? Will DeFi even exist in the same way, or is it going to evolve into something totally new?
That is the big question, right? But I think the key thing to remember here is that DeFi at its core, it's about decentralization, transparency, and user empowerment. Those are the fundamental principles, and those
Mhm.
don't go away no matter how the tech landscape changes.
So even if the way we interact with DeFi changes, those core values are still the driving force.
Exactly. And in a lot of ways, this post-web the paper describes, it actually aligns really well with those DeFi values. It's all about shifting power from those big centralized platforms back to individuals, giving people more control over their data and their finances.
Okay, I think I'm starting to see the bigger picture here. It's not the end of the internet, it's more like a transformation. Moving away from the chaos of the current web to something more intentional and efficient, something more aligned with what we actually want and need.
That's a great way to put it. And for DeFi specifically, this could be a huge moment. We could see a wave of innovation as developers start building these agent-first protocols and using AI to make DeFi more accessible than ever before.
This has been such an eye-opening conversation. Thank you so much for helping break down all these complex ideas. I feel like I have a way better grasp on this paper and the future of DeFi in general.
It's been a pleasure, and this is just the beginning of the conversation. The whole DeFi community needs to be thinking about this, talking about it, weighing the potential benefits and risks of AI, and working together to build a future that benefits everyone.
And to all our listeners out there, we want to hear from you. Are you excited about this post-web world? Do you have questions about how AI is going to impact DeFi? Hit us up on social media and let's keep this conversation going.
Absolutely. Until next time, keep learning, keep building, keep pushing the boundaries in DeFi.
That's it for this deep dive into the world of DeFi research. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, keep exploring.